Today is 837 day that I'm here to lessons I learn. I'm learning. I hope this will support your dreams, your goals, allow to become the person that you want to become. Today I'll speak about resilience and things that sometimes people neglect or sometimes people do not think. Because I truly believe that resilience is one of the topics that we need to speak, discuss. Because the more you speak, the more you put it in front of you, the more you're aware how you're able to work for it. Because if you have no idea what resilience means, it's very hard to implement something into your life that you do not understand. So that's why we need to understand what resilience means. So today, I hope that you will learn a little bit more about what resilience means and what you're supposed to know and what you're supposed to understand about resilience. So number one thing that I want you to understand that probably is easier to understand that resilience is a skill and can be developed. So resilience is a skill and can be developed. It's like any kind of muscle. If you want to exercise your muscle, you're able to exercise, it'll become bigger. Exactly the same with resilience. You're able to develop it. It's not a trait that it's not that you born with it or not. It's totally developed. And when you understand it is totally developed, you are able to look, okay, where I am with my resilience. It might be that you're very, very bad position. Maybe you were not resilient for the last 10 years, maybe a decade, maybe not even more. But I would say, like, I'm not willing to accept that. That's a very beautiful thing, that I'm not willing to accept the way I am. And able to say, I will start to developing. And of course, you're able to learn different coping mechanisms to make sure that you're able to become much more resilient. Number two is resilience doesn't mean going through hardships alone. Resilience doesn't mean going through hardships alone. That's very, very powerful. I needed to learn it because I have a tendency of being individualistic in a lot of different ways. I love team players, but at the same time, when I used to go through challenges, I used to love to do everything by myself. Just have my bubble, go and execute, take action, and really get out of that hole. Now, I understand that a lot of times this is not the best option, because the best option is finding the person who already did it, ask how they did it, why they did it, and you learn. That elevates the speed and resilience even more. So that means that if you are going through challenges, disappointments, setbacks, if you are like me, don't shut down. Look even more. Get out even more. That you could people say, okay, this is what I'm working with. This is what I'm struggling. What I need to do to overcome this challenge. What I need to do to get to another level. Because it might be that that's the one obstacle that's stopping you to really get resilience in the next level. Number three is small acts of self-compassion matter. Small acts of self-compassion matter. Now, understand that it depends on the person. Every single thing that most time is it depends on the person. Because if a person never lifts a butt from the bed, it's very hard to have self-compassion. Now, I understand that self-improvement and small improvement and progress is number one thing in resilience. So that means that if you were not able to lift your head from the bed all day long, you all day long were in the bed. So if you next day woke up, went to shower, prepare a meal, this is a massive improvement. Even though that's like everyone's supposed to do that. No, like, and then second day you went to exercise maybe for 15 minutes. Maybe next day you went to exercise for an hour. So those, even of course, it's just big improvements, but I truly believe that small improvements are the most important. So that means it doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter how small you start. It doesn't matter how small you start. What matters is if you improve. Because when you're improving, at some point your actions will compound. You'll get massive results. And that's why you need to have self-compassion. At that moment, when you take action, that is the most important part of self-compassion. So that means you're taking some action. It doesn't matter how small, but you're taking action, and you're able to be self-compassionate towards that. Number four is resilience is context specific. That means that we need to understand that one person could have resilience in one aspect of their life, and it could be that they are not resilient in other things. That could be that person who exercises a lot and is able to overcome any kind of fitness challenges. But at the same time, when you think about food, is not able to do that. So that means exercises and gym is able to overcome any obstacle, any resilience challenge whatsoever. But when it comes to food, nutrition, it might be that they are not that resilient. So that means that it could be that like fitness and joy and health could be very, very similar. But in the gym and food still doesn't connect because they're not able to transfer resilience from the gym to food. And that means we need to be aware that resilience is not based on every personality on person, but is more based on what is all about, what you learn to be resilient about. Number 5 is acceptance is a key component. That means that a lot of times people accept that they are not able to change something. And I think that we need to really be able to not accept saying, but we say like, okay, that if I want to change, I want to improve, and I'm able to do that. So that means that you're able to accept the current situation, but don't accept the future. Accept the current situation, because when I accept the current situation, that you're able to say, what I'm able to do now. What I'm able to do now. That's a beautiful question. What I'm able to do now. Because it doesn't matter where you're at, but what you're able to do now will allow to become more resilient. Number 6 is resilience can be fostered in children. And this is again, I want to mention that I truly believe in father power, in fatherhood. But at the same time, father power is not just blood. It's sometimes a mentor and mentee relation is a father power. So that means that if you are a leader, a mentor, you are the father, and you're able to teach your kids of resilience. So that means that you're able to teach your mentees how to really build that resilience, how to build those problem-solving skills, coping skills, and everything between to make sure that they are becoming better in that. So that means it's a very, very powerful thing. So that means you're able to grow your children in resilience and mentees. Number 7 is about adaptability, not just bouncing back. So that means people who are resilient are able to really be very, very adaptable. And because they're resilient, they are very adaptable. Because if you're not adaptable, you fail, and after that you need to bounce back more often. But if you are adaptable and you're able to remold yourself, transform yourself, you will probably need less bouncing back, because you don't need to do that as much. You don't fail as much because you're adaptable. You're able to find the resources to make things happen. Very powerful. When you become adaptable, you don't need to bounce back as often because you just don't fail as much. Number 8 is resilience is fluid and dynamic. That means that you are having resilience in 1 year, in one season of your life. It might be that you have resilience in this year, but maybe you will not have as much in next year, or maybe you had it 5 years, but you don't have now, and in the future will have again. And that means that it's so many things that impacts what is outside and what is your relationships look like, how your gym looks like, how is your energy level looks like, how other setbacks is. Because when you have resilience, it might be that you have a certain level. So that means that you have 3 from 10. But it might be that you're using that resilience on one aspect of your life. But now if like multiple areas of your life is not going well, and you use resilience in one area of your life, that means that all other areas of life might be neglected because of that. And because now like one area is fixed, your resilience could be adjusting because of that as well. Number 9 is humor could be resilience strategy. I truly believe that humor is one beautiful thing, because when you are able to really look at the more positive and sometimes humorous in a creative way, because sometimes when I used to be in a pretty sad moment, sometimes I used to really watch some kind of the best humor comedy acts, because I really understood that humor is very important. Understanding that there's ways to find laughter in any moment, because laughter is one of the things that elevates your energy, and energy elevates your actions, and actions elevate your results, and action and results elevate your energy even more. So As I said, it's a lot of times small actions could ripple in massive, massive results, massive effects. Number 10 is resilience doesn't mean suppressing emotions. This is very powerful as well. A lot of times people think that resilience is suppressing your emotions, not feeling anything because you're resilient. You don't supposed to feel anything. No, resilience is feeling the emotions, but doing the necessary things anyway. Resilience is feeling the emotions, feeling the disappointment, feeling all those negative emotions, but doing the things that's necessary anyway. That's very, very powerful. So the most important part to understand that it doesn't matter how you feel. What matters what needs to be done and what you do. And that's it's one of the things that really separates successful and unsuccessful people. And the last one is that which 11 cultural and individual variations exist. So that means that when we call it resilience, of course, one person will see resilience one way, other person and a little bit different, and how we build will will show up in our resilience, and that's okay. That means that everyone's develops differently, and everyone's levels are totally different. So one person will be able to handle one thing, other person will be able to handle totally different thing. So being able to build a team around. So one person will be resilient in one area, another person will be resilient in another area. So that means you, as a group, as a team, be able to move much more because we were able to come back and bounce back from multiple aspects of our lives. So that's why very, very important to have a team, to have association, to have relationships that you're able to plug in and really go through everything like a train through walls and in between. So I hope that you will reflect as well what resilience means to you in your life, where resilience showed up, how often resilience show up, and how do you develop the resilience that you could be more resilient in the future? Because if you don't have any challenges now, I could guarantee you that your challenges will come in the future. And if you do not develop resilience while those challenges not there, once your challenges will be there, it will be much more difficult to build it. If you will build it, but if you prepare in advance, it will be so much more easy. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.